System 1 loaded.
The 16th minute. The 16th minute of PZW. Let the party begin as PZW episode 7 comes to a little bit of a close here. My name's Atlee Greene. I'm here with Shane Daly, sexy Shane Daly, as John
Atlee,
Wilson now calls him.
Why would the party begin now? I've been partying for the last 15 minutes, along with Mr. Adam Nessel, the money mixing master himself, KM Cash, the gigantic enforcer, Malcolm Xavier, that giant hunk of a man, John Wilson, and of course, the I dress in the dark because I don't want to wake anybody up, PZW heavyweight champion, Tony Spencer.
The new PZW heavyweight champion, Tough Talk, Tony Spencer. The party began. There were balloons. Well, there were 4 of them. But there were balloons. There were streamers. There was music.
There were balloons.
There were balloons. The party was jumping. Adam Nessel declares that his reign of terror has only just begun here in PZW.
I think you made an error. This is not a reign of terror. This is a glorious, glorious time period in the history of Project Zero Wrestling when the benevolent and genius owner, Mr. Adam Nessel, reigns over it with a soft but firm grip.
Speaking of firm grips, Derek Simonetti comes out, puts a halt to the party, crashes the party, if you will, and declares that he's not alone.
You know, John Wilson has a firm grip.
Are you going to let me explain to the fans
When he was bear
what
hugging
has
Derek
transpired?
Simonetti last week. I know we're not talking about
We
last
talked
week's
about that
episode,
last
but
week.
I forgot to mention that the giant hunk of a man, John Wilson, has a firm grip.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're only going to talk about what happened on last week's episode of Project Zero Wrestling, so don't listen to this podcast. Go back and listen to last week's 16th minute, because we're going to just talk about the same stuff we're talking about now.
On PZWrestling.com.
Yes, on PZWrestling.com. Now, will you let me tell the listeners at home what happened?
As long as you tell it as an unbiased journalist, unlike what you have been doing.
That's the only way I do it. Anyway, Derek Simonetti comes out to crash the party, much to the dismay of Mr. Adam Nessel. And he tells the world that Tony Spencer could not beat Tommy Corbin on his best day.
You know, I actually think that this last episode was Tony Spencer's best day. And I say that because we actually dressed him in the back, which is why he actually looked decent this week.
Not to be outdone, Derek Simonetti talks a little bit more about what he has in store for Adam Nessel's reign of terror. He makes a Pee Wee Herman reference in reference to how Adam Nessel is dressed. And speaking of Pee Wee Herman, the word of the day, bombshell. Because that is what Derek Simonetti brought with him in the form of Mr. Adam Nessel's baby brother, Kenny Nessel. That's right, Kenny Nessel is back in Project Zero Wrestling, much to the dismay of Adam Nessel.
So here's Derek Simonetti saying that he has brought a date to this party. Now, I've seen some of the broads that Derek Simonetti has traveled around with in the past. I've seen 20 of them. And this is by far the ugliest one I've ever seen him bring to a party.
You wouldn't say it to Kenny Nessel's face.
I would not speak to Kenny Nessel's face if you paid me, because Adam Nessel does not approve of bums like that.
Well, Kenny Nessel wasn't doing any talking. Kenny Nessel and Derek Simonetti went out with reckless abandon and it was just a pure 6 brawl. Malcolm Xavier John Wilson, Derek Sabanetti, Kenny Nestle brawling all over the PZW arena. It was complete chaos. It was so chaotic that Adam Nestle didn't even want to look at what was happening because he didn't want to face the reality of his baby brother being back in PZW. By the way, factoid, Kenny Nestle is the reason why Adam...
Don't say it. Don't even say it. Do not bring up such a dark blemish in the history of Project Zero Wrestling.
I'm not going to mention that. I will not. You're right. I'm sorry. I will not ever mention that.
Don't mention it. If you mention it, I'll mention it.
I'm not.
Don't mention it.
Mention what?
That's right. There's nothing to mention.
Well, I think what Shane was going to say was that Kenny put Adam out of wrestling.
Hey.
You told me that.
I told you.
You
fine.
told me that.
You know what? Everyone listening at home, I have a secret to tell you.
Oh boy.
Though to be honest, it's not really a secret. It's been widely shouted from the mountains. Atlee Greene is just jealous because he got body slammed by Adam Nestle.
Anywho, just as Tough Talk Tony Spencer is trying to calm down Adam Nestle, who should appear from behind? None other than the former PZW heavyweight champion, Tommy Corbin. He comes out, drops Tony Spencer with a vicious overhand right, and tells him right here, right now, he wants his rematch, and he wants it tonight.
I don't even know how that man got a rematch clause written in his contract.
Tommy Corbin was so beside himself. He was breaking balloons with knife edge chops. Ric Flair couldn't even do that.
Has Ric Flair tried?
In his prime. He probably has. He's probably been to a party or two and could never break a balloon with a knife edge chop.
You know what Ric Flair has done?
What?
Many, many times?
What?
He's gotten tossed off the top rope like you did by Mr. Adam Nestle.
Well, I have a lot more times of being tossed off the top rope before I can catch up with the number that Ric Flair has established. But anywho, the match is on. Rematch, PCW heavyweight title, Tommy Corbin, Tough Talk Tony Spencer. Tommy Corbin finds himself in the unfamiliar role as the challenger, as Tough Talk Tony Spencer just wastes no time.
Unfamiliar? Are you kidding? He's challenged every time he tries to open a pill bottle.
You know what? I think you're going a little bit toward the personal side of things. We're trying to bring some levity to the show. We're trying to tell the fans what happened, break it down from a fan's perspective. That's what we're trying to do, and you just have to go make it all personal. Why are you going to make it personal?
Why do you have to insult Mr. Adam Nestle?
I'm not insulting Adam Nestle. I'm calling it exactly how I see it.
Biased. That's how I see it.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask any question you want.
If you sing the praises of Adam Nestle because you like him, because you think he's doing all these great things for PCW, which arguably he has. But let me ask you a question. If Adam Nestle holds you in such high esteem, why haven't you been back in PZW? How come you're not on TV? How come you're not standing side by side with Adam Nestle? How come you're not standing side by side with the money man Cash? How come you're not standing with John Wilson, the hunk of man, as you so say, and Malcolm Xavier? How come you're not there, riding roughshod, calling the shots, if you will? How come? Explain yourself.
Because somebody has to do the paperwork.
Oh, I see.
Right. I do the easy things while Mr. Adam Nestle does all the hard work to keep this company rolling along the tracks like a smooth train ride.
So your invitation to the party at the beginning of the show got lost in the mail.
I actually sent the invitations out.
Really? All right. Well, speaking of smooth sailing, smooth paperwork, Tommy Corbin had things well in hand for a good part of the match as far as trying to get his PCW title back from Tony Spencer. I mean, from the onset, he made multiple pin attempts because he just wanted to get that belt back as fast as possible.
Do you know why
which told me and told the viewers at home that he craves that championship. He wants it more than anything.
You know what it told me?
What did it tell you?
It told me that he had to make multiple pin attempts because he couldn't keep Tony's shoulders on the mat.
Exactly. That's why I said he was trying to pin him. He was making
Trying only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes.
I don't even know. Anyway, Tommy Corbin gets a lot of offense in, and then Tony Spencer turns things around, hangs him out to dry over the top rope, and then applies a sleeper hold, and then as soon as Tommy Corbin kind of turns things around, another Pier 6 brawl with Simon Eddy, Kenny Nessel, Malcolm Xavier, John Wilson, just goes all over the PZW arena once again, to the point where Tommy Corbin is distracted. He's about to put Tony Spencer away. He's distracted by the Pier 6 brawl. All of a sudden, Tony Spencer hits Corbin with the ring bell so hard that you actually heard the ding.
Were we watching different matches?
You know, if I knew how to work this production thing, I would turn the volume down on your microphone.
Look, what happened was Tony Spencer locked Tommy Corbin in a sleeper hold, and he started.
Okay, so as you can tell, Shane Daly's microphone has been turned down. Basically, what happened was Tommy Corbin was about an inch away from becoming the champion once again until he got distracted by the Pier 6 brawl that took place in the PCW arena. Spencer hits him with the bell so hard it dings, and then instead of pinning him, he puts him in a sleeper hold. He puts the unconscious Tommy Corbin in a sleeper hold. Referee turns around, hand raised once, hand raised twice, hand raised 3 times. The winner and still PCW champion, Tough Talk Tony Spencer.
Right, Tony Spencer locked him in a sleeper hold. That brawl broke out outside the ring. Tony valiantly kept that sleeper hold locked on until Tommy finally faded away in the darkness. And hopefully he's just going to fade away from PZW television.
I hope that doesn't happen, but you have to wonder what's going to happen to him now, because not only has he lost the belt, but he cashed in his rematch clause right away and lost that match as well. So
that's a 2-time loser. Dana White would fire a guy like that.
You start from the bottom. You lose 2 in a row. He has to start all over again. And you know, Adam Nessel is not going to make it easy on him at all.
Adam Nessel only gives title shots to worthy competitors.
It makes me wonder if Tommy Corbin is going to regret declining Mr. Adam Nessel's offer. Well, we're just about out of time here on this episode of the 16th Minute.
Since Atlee didn't say it, I'll remind you all. Visit pzwrestling.com, that great website funded by the benevolent and generous Mr. Adam Nessel.
That I was going to say. That's why
I'm Shane Daly. That's Atlee Greene babbling incoherently. This has been the 16th Minute.
Make sure you guys visit pzwrestling.com for everything that is Project Zero Wrestling. My name is Atlee Greene.
Hey, who turned my
The
mic
guy
off?
you can't hear is Shane Daly.
Hey.
We'll see you next time for another episode of the 16th Minute.
The 16th minute.